Welcome back to Montana. Let's get back in the shop and see where we left off with the Audi. The goal for this video is to get the trans off the engine, get the engine on the engine stand, and start getting the engine apart so I can start doing the seals and see what's going on in there. These Venom steel gloves are my new jam. And I like to reuse them because they're so thick and they last. I think they're like 50 cents a piece. I apologize for the angle, but the phone is charging right now. Let's get it lifted up and then I will get the ones on the bottom and we'll lower it back down. Alright. $13 short boy with a wash. Let's see. Yeah, it's just falling apart. Or at least the starter is. Yeah, starter's free. It's got like a shield. It's a heat shield. Alright, see this trans. Yeah, that trans is coming off for sure. Pry bar on this one. Greasy. Oh, underneath this. Medium pry bar here. Yeah, there's a couple of dowels it looks like where in some of these bolt holes. Yep, there we go. Yeah, she's off. So with my fingers. Yeah, I'm glad I got this dollar. Smart move. So here's all the trans bolts. The little guys with the washers and the smaller ones are in front. And the big guys are in back. Hey guys, long time no see. I've been busy with doing cabinets and you can kind of see in there, I'm painting them right now. But doing cabinets and some housework and working on the cars and all sorts of stuff non-Audi related. And I'm kind of glad because winter's over and it's nice and warm and I can get back to it. I just got the torque converter off with the flywheel or whatever for the starter ring. I had to take the starter out to get it. And in order to do that, I had to take the alternator out. Alternator is just 2 bolts. And then I was able to swing this around and get the 3 bolts out of here. Not too bad. It came right off. I thought I had a rear main seal, but I don't. I ordered a parts kit a while back and I thought it came with a rear main seal, or I thought I ordered a rear main seal. I don't seem to see it in the actual Audi. I kept everything in there. But what I do have is valve cover gaskets. It looks like exhaust gaskets, cam seals, cam caps. Whole bunch of other O-rings and stuff, maybe for the injectors. I have to see where all this for. Head gaskets and oil pan gasket. It looks like these may be intake gaskets here. It's nice it gives you the torque order on here, and it says normal person don't do it, mechanic do it. I don't know any normal person that would order this stuff, or any normal person that would buy a 95 Audi anyway. And then I have the head studs here as well, or head bolts here. So what I wanted to do, it's hard to think about what I want to say. What I wanted to do is take out the rear main seal right now, because as you can see, I can't get the engine stand in underneath the engine hoist. That's how that goes, right? So I was trying to do a couple things while I have it up here. I'm going to check again, see if I have that, but that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully I can get it on the end stand. I can do the oil pan gasket. I pulled this valve cover off and everything looks super clean. In fact, let's do that again and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. I don't know what size these are, but little Allen bits. There's 6 of them. Over here you have to take off the bracket. And then again, I did this before, so it should come off easy, but you might do the hit yours with a hammer or something to loosen it. So you can see inside the valve cover, it's pretty clean. I mean, there's a little bit of baked on oil, but for 300,000 miles, it's not bad. I mean, I don't know what they ran through it. Got some baffling here for the, what am I blanking on what everything's called, but you know, where the vapors come out and then it recycles the EGR. But baffles in here, I mean, super clean. And underneath that, this isn't really held anything on with other than the valve cover pressure. Got a little baffle plate. Feels like plastic, but it's pretty clean. But you see the cams, there's a little bit of, you know, scoring. I don't have my glove on, but I'm not feeling anything with my fingernail. So the cams look fine. This is all clean in here. I mean, it's almost worrying, like do they run something through here? There's no gunk. But for 300,000 miles, I would expect this to be fried, and it's not. So we're going to replace this gasket out here, and we're going to actually pull these head studs off once hopefully I can get it on the engine stand. Woo, I got mop head. But hopefully I can get those studs out, but really I'm not going to do that until I've got an engine stand. That way I'm able to, you know, torque it on without it being on the ground. I don't think I'm going to have to remove the injectors. I think I can take off the whole manifold with these 3 bolts here. No, maybe I'm crazy. So let's just go for it. I'm going to try and take off this intake manifold. I'm hoping that it's just these bolts here by the injectors, but we'll find out. So you're going to have to remove the plug wires at least. That's the other thing I meant to mention. I pulled this plug. I'm guessing that's the number 3 plug or number, no, that'd be 5. 135 plug. So, and it looked fine. It was just dirty, but it didn't look like it was like covered in oil. It just looked old. So I'm hoping the rest are the same way, but let's pull the plug wires. And strange that the first one is already off. Okay. There we go. Oh, this was already repaired at one point. But these pipes are old, so I have to do a little bit of work on that. All right, so plug wires should be obvious, but the way they have it is the middle one goes to the first. The first one goes all the way back to the end, and the inside one goes to, this right, yeah, the inside one goes to the middle. It's like a spider's web here. These are 6mm hex. Let's see if we can get them out. I'm really trying to take apart as little as possible here. Oh yeah, there's no torque on that at all. Got the bolts off. Let's see if this will pop off or not. Could be futile. That's probably not the right way to do it either. I think I'm going to try and get off the top of the intake manifold first, and we'll go from there. And I don't know if I can get those off. See if I can get the fuel rails off. Just held on by these Phillips head screws. Yep. So I got the rail off. I just need a little bit of persuasion on that side. So I'm going to remove these injectors and hopefully get the fuel rail out. So I was just yanking on it a little bit and the injectors came right out. So let's see if we can do the other side. Yep. So same thing with plug wire. The inside one goes all the way back. This one's actually a little bit different order, I guess. That's interesting. And then the middle goes to the middle, and the front goes to the front on this side. So this side's all wonky, and this side is not. So that's interesting. So passenger side is front to front, middle to middle, back to back. All right. So fuel rail. So I thought these were just alignment studs, but it looks like that there's bolts from the bottom side here. This big old busted thing's in the way, so I'm gonna pull it off. And it wasn't that tight anyway. I think it's coolant. Yeah, it's coolant line. I don't know what this is, thermostat maybe, but it was attached to the intake here, or the water pump. No, intake there. And the whole thing's moving a little bit more now. That we somehow missed. I don't think I needed to take off the bolts off the top part. The whole thing moves now. And I think we can just lift it off, so I'm just gonna try that. I keep saying we because I got my 9-year-old daughter here helping me out. She's a big help. It's not the royal we. Oh, there's still one more. Intake is off.
Yeah.
You can see the valves in there. It doesn't look gross. I mean, there's definitely oil coming in on the runners. So I think that's from all the 300,000 miles of blow-by. It's definitely dirty in here. I don't know that the head gasket warped or anything. I don't know what this guy is. Inspection panel. Let's see if we have a gasket for that, and we'll get this cleaned up. All right, I'm gonna take these old crusty gaskets off. This one looks like the screw is kind of running through it. One of the bolts was coming in through, so I don't know if someone replaced these gaskets at some point. But that's trash. And this guy will take off too. And we'll clean up these surfaces later. Right now I'm just gonna get these holes plugged. These are dirty because I had them in already, but that'll be all right. I'm going to clean this off another day, but let's get some plugs out and take a look at some of these plugs and see how bad it is in there. Let's take out this plug and take a look. See, plugs are old and they're burnt, but they're not covered in oil. So, I don't know. Crusty for sure, but who knows the last time these things were changed. So look at what we have here. These are not the Audi bolts, so somebody's been on this side, maybe for a gasket, maybe for something else, but let's see what they're supposed to look like. Do I have to take this off too to get that? And somebody put it on there with all their strength. Down here too, we got another one that's not stock, so somebody's been in here. This is curious. So whoever was in here, yeah, that's better. Whoever was in here used 10 millimeter. And it works, I guess. It's just curious. You know, we've all been there. We've all had to find another bolt for what we're doing. But 3, it's interesting. I wonder if the other's stripped out or something. Oh yeah, V6, baby. I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Whew, it's just the edge. That scared me. Wow. I thought I just ruined the whole thing. So it's not, don't do that. But let's see if we can get this off.
Oh.
That would have been bad.
I thought that was a screw or something.
No, I thought I just put a hole in the whole cover. Finding replacement parts for this engine would be ridiculous. There we go. Filming? Good.
It's been filming the whole time.
Oh, good. Okay. Crusty. Now let's take a look here. Come in here.
Okay.
All right, so a little bit of grossness in here, not too much more on the other side. The oil filler is. Let's get the cover off. Yeah, not crusty in here either. It looks like they changed the oil. It's definitely scoring on the... Oh yeah, I can feel it in my fingernail for sure. There's definitely a little bit of scoring on the cams, but 300,000 miles, that's going to be, and I'm not replacing these cams, but it's good that it's this clean on the inside. I'll tell you that. All right, so I'm going to put this back. This valve cover, the valve cover gasket looks fine. I mean, we'll see what it's like in where the spark plugs were once we get the heads off. But we're good. Okay, so let's get the top of the intake off and see if there's anything remarkable in there. It's much easier to reach these when the whole bad boy's off, that's for sure. It's finally on a stand. I had to go out and buy a different stand. If you notice the feet on this one fit between the legs on this guy. The one back there is for heavier weight, and it's got a wide T-bar that doesn't fit, at least the way I had this jacked up. So, good to go now. We can get to business on the engine. I ordered a rear main seal kit, spark plugs, oil filter, and seals for all the front as well. So if I can see what's behind here, if it's leaking in here, we'll find out. Now that it's on the stand, I can start getting into the seals and everything. And there's a lot right here, so I gotta investigate where that's coming from. Could it be the upper oil pan in the block? Could that be coming out of there? Could be. I'll take a look. Got it over a little bit. Exhaust manifold, or downpipe. Yeah, I guess this is the manifold. Downpipe part of the manifold was hitting over here. I've got this hook impeding over here, so I'll take this hook off and be able to flip it all the way over. Yeah, I'm wondering if it is that upper pan gasket in the front. Hope so, because I really don't want to do a front main seal. Look at all this gunk in here too. Wow. There's a lot back there too. Could be. This front engine mount is still on, and now that I've got it here, I'm going to take it off. Just to give a little better access to the pan here. I'm going to take it off just so I can clean back there good and maybe see if there's more leak coming out of there. But it looks like it's just this pan gasket here. But there is more up there. I mean, I did clean it. I'm going to say it's this the upper gasket. I just got all the lower oil pan bolts out and literally just popped it off. Let's see what we can see in here. Well, first off, it doesn't look crusty. I mean, there's some old oil in there. This gasket, I'm hoping just bent when the lid came off. What is that? Ooh, is that like RTV or something in there? Yeah, we got a little sealant, maybe left over from. My guess would be if they put in something on a bolt. Ooh, it's definitely crispy in there. All right, well, I don't know if we want to take the whole thing apart. How brave are we? This gasket does go under the pickup. I don't see it leaking on outside of the, maybe back here a little bit. I can't tell if that's just from popping it off. Definitely looks like it was leaking over here, unless that's just rolling back. You know, most of the gasket's looking pretty clean, but we're going to replace that. I'm going to turn over the engine. Let's see if we see anything in there with the rods. I mean, it's dry, right? It's pumping air, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to take any of that apart. If it's shot, it's shot. I mean, it doesn't have any knock. It wasn't knocking. So I think we should just, what do we got here? Feels like gasket material. We have up here on the bottom of the pan. I mean, it's crusty. Some of it's old, but it's not, I'm not seeing metal flake or anything in there. So I don't think anything spun. It's definitely like material. So that's good. This bolt I thought penetrated the pan. It doesn't, thankfully. Okay, well, I don't feel like getting to be a mess tonight. I got to paint tomorrow some more cabinets. So I'm going to clean up a little bit. This is just a thrift store find. They don't make them like this anymore, especially for 25 bucks. So I had to pick it up. So I'll get to this another time and I'll check back with you then. Yeah, here's some more of that like red gasket material. That's a little worrisome. But yeah, you can definitely see, you know, there's baked on oil back here. It got hot back there. But I don't see if you see anything in the pickup. You know, there's stuff in there, but for 300,000 miles, I don't, you know, a piece or two. Hopefully that's a good sign. See if we can get that out when we clean this up. All right, I keep talking because I keep getting interested, but I really got to go inside. I've been a little busy building new cabinets. Got some of them painted. Got a couple coats of paint on these guys, and need to get back to it. Hopefully we'll get back to the Audi soon, and I can bring you some more updates as we get closer to getting this bad boy back on the road. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment below. I try and answer as many as I can. And we'll hopefully see you next one. So until next time, may God bless you and keep standing up for what's right. This is where she sits, alone in the barn, ready to get back on the road. Let me get the trash can out of you so you can't see, brother. I heard the sheep too.